This program is paid for by Imagine Theaters, Able Ideas, and Comic City.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Season 3 of Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi. I'm Nick, and this, as always, is my co-host, Jill.
We're so excited to be here, and we're excited to see you. And if you haven't seen the show before, we're bringing to you a half hour of what's new in games, movies, comic books, sci-fi, beer.
Okay, we only have 30 minutes, so we got to go over to Q, who got a chance to meet Cress Williams, Black Lightning himself, at Motor City Comic Con.
This is the Q from Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi. We're here at the Motor City Comic Con. I'm here with Black Lightning, or as I know him, Scooter, from Cress Williams. How's it going today?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
So, is this your first time at the Motor City Comic Con, right?
This is my first time. Yeah, this is actually my fourth Comic Con period.
So you're playing Black Lightning, first black hero on TV. Woo, woo, come on now. And tell us about season 2, because season 1 was great.
I mean, season 2, I think we're going to even have more fun. You know, because season 1 was really about introducing the characters, because this is not a character that people grew up with, you know, like it's not like Green Lantern or Superman or Batman. So we took that time to really explain the world and introduce the characters. So now season 2, we get to just have fun. We don't have to explain anything anymore. And Tobias, I think, is going to bring a whole other level of supervillains to fight. So I think we're raising the bar. We're just going to build on what we did.
Okay, so we've always heard it. And I'm going to ask you, because I know you get asked all the time.
Okay. I bet I know what it is.
Yeah, you know what it is. Yeah. So when are we going to see you come crossover with every other Arrowverse? You guys keep saying you're not in the Arrowverse. Right. But there are little hints, and I know they're probably just teasing it to mess with us. But are you going to cross over with them? Are you on a different Earth? Are you in the same Earth? What's going on?
We're in our own, universe. And I think the teases have been, like you said, just to mess with people. Okay. But, the thing is, logistically, we shoot in Atlanta, and all the other shows, they all shoot in Vancouver. Okay. And so that's part of it. And also the thing is our style, for anyone who's, watched the show, our style is completely different than anything on television, and definitely different than any of the other shows. And so I think the creator of our show said if they want to come to Freeland and help us fight crime in Freeland, that's fine, but I think that's probably the only way it'll happen.
Wow, so no fighting Nazis with the Flash?
Man, we're trying to save a neighborhood right now. That's that's the first thing.
That's about it. All right. Well, I thank you for the time and keep doing a great job, man. I've really enjoyed the show.
Thank you.
This has been the Q from Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi.
That was great, Q. I'm so jealous you got to do that interview. What's next, Jill?
Let's see what's new in movies with Mark.
Honey, where's my super suit? I guess I won't be wearing any super suit this season. But the stars of the Pixar sequel, The Incredibles, will. Opening this week is Incredibles 2. This time around, Mr. Incredible is left to watch their infant child while his wife, Elastigirl, goes out to save the world.
You know it's crazy, right? To help my family, I gotta leave it. To fix the law, I gotta break it.
You've got to, so our kids can have that choice.
Thank you, young man.
Combustion imminent? What does that mean? Ah!
It means fire, Robert.
Also coming out this week for you older but immature audiences is Tag. The new movie is about a group of friends who get together every year to play an ongoing game of tag.
Our buddy Jerry is the best that ever played, and now he wants to retire.
Never been tagged. Just saying. So who's it?
Can't touch this.
This is the year we get Jerry.
Can't touch this.
Synchronize your watches.
I don't know how to do that.
I don't wear a watch.
Seems like the game has really kept you guys connected.
All right. So good to see you. Come on. It's been a while since we've done this.
This game has given us a reason to be in each other's lives.
I think your dad would have really wanted you to be. Yeah.
And lastly this week is the remake to the 70s blaxploitation film, Superfly.
One last score is so big that we will never have to look over our shoulder again. So we have to go to the source.
If we do this, there's no going back.
Never will. I promise I'm gonna take care of you. We stick to the plan.
What plan? We black men ain't nowhere safe.
Come on, let's take a drive.
These look like 3 awesome movies, but if I had to pick one movie, it would be Incredibles 2. I've been waiting years for this to come out. See you next time.
Thanks, Mark. I have to check those out.
Yes, and also at Motor City Comic Con, there's a lot of interesting vendors, and we caught up with a hat vendor, and of course, who got to talk to that one but Brad?
Hey, it's the Bradcast, and you know the Bradcast loves them some hats. Well, I'm here with Alex, the hat maker from blondeswan.com. How long have you been making these beautiful custom hats?
My wife and I have been in the theater costuming industry since '91, and our hats that we would handcraft were always a hit. We're always special. So we took that and brought it to a retail crowd.
Now tell me about what you're wearing. I see it's almost like steampunk-based goggles on a themed hat. Tell me about that.
It's great. We were the first ones to bring Detroit diesel punk to life.
Nice.
And that's like a 1940s version of steampunk where there's World War II inspiration. And so I personally saw all the pictures of bomber pilots and men coming home from World War II, just happy to be returning home, and they always were real American heroes in the photos. And we thought mixing that with the heroes of today's comic books, like Captain America, or in my case, Doctor Who, or Deadpool especially, mixing all of those with a Detroit diesel punk vibe made a really unique combination, which actually evolved into what they call superhero pinup, which is a really big thing right now.
You guys manufacture all of these hats. Can you tell me a little bit about the process?
Sure. So all of our local neighbors and friends have gathered together and become artisans that make these hats from scratch. We receive the leathers as hides of leather, and they're all cut and hand created in our one studio in Ohio, just an hour and a half from here. You can see our full collection at blondeswan.com at Etsy, and you'll see our full selection where you can pick from sizes from medium or petite all the way to 4X. We're the place to come because we're true fans making hats for true fans.
Well, this has been great. Alex, thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing more of your creations in the future. This has been the Bradcast with Comic Experience Sci-Fi.
Now it's time for a commercial break. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paul Glantz, CEO of Imagine Entertainment. Here at Imagine, we pride ourselves in not only being an American company, but being an integral part of the communities we serve. We believe that the magic of moviegoing can now also be a luxurious night out. Imagine strives to deliver the finest entertainment experience in the marketplace, with plush reclining chairs, spectacular picture and sound quality, and an expanded food and beverage menu featuring new and classic cinema delicacies. Sample our terrific array of popcorn offerings, including our unique olive oil-based product, Pop and Olive. Enjoy a plethora of beverage possibilities at our Coca-Cola Freestyle machines, or try one of our locally made craft beers. Enjoy the convenience of purchasing tickets on Imagine Entertainment's smartphone app or at one of our kiosks and choose your favorite seat in advance. Join one of our loyalty programs and accumulate points toward rewards and discounts.
Welcome back to Comic Experience Sci-Fi. Thanks for sticking around, and here's what we have for you next.
Hi guys, this is Samantha with Comic Experience Sci-Fi, and this week we're going to talk about some games inspired by some movies coming out this summer. Up first is Jurassic World Evolution. The second game this week is Lego The Incredibles.
We're receiving hair-raising reports that a gang of henchmen have been unleashed on New Urban.
Looks like we have company.
This is not my super suit!
I'm Syndrome!
Frozo! Yeah! Will you look at that?
You guys will have to work together.
You got it, Dad!
Trampoline me!
That's it for this week. Check us out next time. This has been Samantha with Comics Beer and Sci-Fi.
Very interesting. I think it's time for our Hollywood Car Minute.
That's right. Let's take it to Joe Johnson.
Thanks, guys. Joe Johnson here at Motor City Comic Con. I'm here with Kurt McAllister of Lexus. We're standing in front of the Black Panther Lexus. What can you tell us about this beautiful car?
Yeah, absolutely. This actually is the red carpet premiere car that was at Hollywood right before it debuted in February. So actually, Chadwick Boseman has sat in this car, which makes it ultra cool. But this is actually, this vehicle has been touring the country for the last 9 months, promoting the movie, promoting Infinity Wars. And what's neat about it is this is the only Comic Con the country is going to appear at this year. Not San Diego, not New York, not Chicago, but here in the Motor City. So we're really excited about having it here and having 60,000 people take a gander at it.
So the cars featured in the movie are Lexus. Does Lexus have an agreement with Marvel?
Yeah, we have an agreement with Marvel. We gave them 3 Lexus LCs and a GSF for those chase scenes. As you can imagine, with any action film with a chase scene, the cars don't come back the way they left.
Talk about what makes this car unique, the graphics, the details.
Yeah, so this vehicle was actually done by West Coast Customs out in Los Angeles, which is the top mod shop in the country. So really what it is, they've actually extended the body in the back, the last 3/4 panel. They've made it bulger, they've made it more masculine. We've got 24-inch wheels, which it really doesn't quite make it street legal because it really can't do the quick, tight turns. And what makes this unique is we've done something called sponge painting, which is kind of an old style that people do in their homes. So we start with a black lacquer, and then we sponge pop with blue on top of it, a real thick blue. And then actually, after kind of smoothing that out, we put saran wrap on it. And then they pull the saran wrap off, and that's where you get the really cool texture. And then they put the mask on, and then they kind of infuse the mask graphic on, and then they seal it again.
Now in the movie, they drove sort of a hologram Lexus. Are we going to see that at the Detroit Auto Show anytime soon?
We have to work on autonomous cars first, right, before we have to worry about holographic cars.
All right. Well, thanks for bringing it out. Where else can you see the Black Panther Lexus than the Motor City Comic Con? I'm Joe Johnson.
And now we're going to see what's new this week on TV with Q.
This is the Q from Comics Beer and Sci-Fi. Welcome back to Season 3. Who'd have thought we'd make it this far? I did. So first up on TV is Marvel's Cloak and Dagger, and hopefully it's a lot better than I can't even think of that show.
You and I are connected.
Assess our limits. I know who you are.
We need to get out of here. Stop!
Speaking of Marvel, even though I don't really like those guys, I really like Big Hero 6, and now they're bringing it out as a TV show, so I can't help but be excited.
Whoopsie daisy.
They started out as friends.
Ba-la-la-la-la.
Buddy, time to be a superhero. But became much.
Super jump!
Much.
Not so fast!
More.
Big Hero 6? Really?
Let's do this.
That's it for this week. Come back next week when I'll be talking more TV on Comics Beer and Sci-Fi.
Hey, comic book geeks, comic book Casey coming at you from Comic Experience Sci-Fi. We had the opportunity to go to the Kansas City Planet Comic-Con. We met the creator of Pop Star Assassin. If you're into the old retro, iconic stars and pop culture coming together to do some kung fu moves against some robots, this will be the book for you. Check it out.
My name's Ed LaValley. I'm writer-creator. My latest, Pop Star Assassin, is inspired by all the things I loved growing up in the 70s. Elvis, Bruce Lee, Black Belt Theater, monsters, robots, Westworld. It's a sci-fi romp through 1970s pop culture involving look-alike robot assassins. It's got a little Tarantino flair to it, little Pulp Fiction action. We're running it as a miniseries right now. Issues 1 through 5 are out. We're running the story arc as a 6-issue story arc. Hope to submit it to some publishers and get picked up for distribution. There's just an energy about comics and pop culture, and it's just taking over everything that we do.
All right, it's time for a break. Stay tuned for more Comic Experience Sci-Fi. We'll be right back.
Hi guys, it's Brittany G here at Able Ideas Comic Book Production Company, where we bring your ideas to life. Come check out our Birmingham office and see how we do here at Able Ideas.
Okay guys, you're almost there, but we need to make it look more real. It needs to pop off the page and grab you. Let's make it happen.
Let's go drop in on the art team.
Our team. Our clients want more realism.
No! Wait!
Well guys, hope you enjoyed checking us out. Make sure you follow us on social media. Able Ideas with a Z on Instagram, YouTube, and check out our website, ableideas.com. Make sure you order your comic books, and I gotta get out of here. Bye guys! No!
Well, what's up next, Nick?
Two of my favorite things, craft beer and Comic-Con.
Today we're at Planet Comic-Con. This is the largest comic sci-fi convention in Kansas City, Missouri. We're really excited to be here. Boulevard is all about Kansas City, and a lot of nerds work at Boulevard, and we're really excited. We come to the convention on our own, so Planet asked if we would like to pour some beer, sample some beer here, and provide it to all the convention goers, and I said yes enthusiastically. We could not wait to be part of it. But we needed something that would kind of like identify us to this crowd. And a few years back, I made a really small, kind of a static display robot out of our Nutcracker winter ale. And that kind of spun this idea to create Optimus Prime here. And it's really just hot glue, duct tape, empty wheat boxes. A lot of people have asked what happened to the beer in these boxes, and I told them that drinking all the beer is what gave me the idea to make this robot. I will tell you my favorite part is the can launcher, because the brewery was like, well, we don't want you to put a violent robot there. And I was like, no, Optimus Prime isn't here to kill, he's the destroyer of thirst. Unfiltered wheat, which is what Optimus Prime is made of. That's our most well-known and beloved beer here in Kansas City. We've been operating since 1989. It was the first brewery to operate in Kansas City since the late 60s. Boulevard kind of dominated the scene for a long time, only because there weren't a lot of people making beer. And now I think Kansas City has like 35 smaller craft breweries that are making beer, and they're good. They're making really good beer. Kansas City has adopted craft beer as kind of their own, and that makes us really happy, and we're proud to be part of that.
Well, we got a chance to meet a monster maker, and who better to send than our own monster Mark.
That's right. Let's head over to the Monroe Comic-Con.
I'm here with the makeup artist, Dan Phillips. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing really well, Mark. Thanks for coming over to my booth.
Now, we were watching you apply the makeup over there to Eugene Clark. Is this the first time you ever applied that makeup?
Yeah, it was we went through a lot of hoops to get the permission to do that. And, you know, it's an iconic makeup. It's on an iconic zombie from Land of the Dead. So it's my first time applying it. Eugene was amazing. And he is Glad he didn't jump at me. He is just a great professional guy. So it was amazing to put the makeup on him, and I was totally honored. Yeah.
Were there any challenges to applying this makeup?
Well, actually, the pieces were brought in. I didn't make the pieces, I just applied them. Nora Hewitt, who did an amazing job. She was, I believe, season 9 winner from Face Off. She sculpted and made the pieces and sent them with Eugene. I applied them. So Nora, bang up job if you see this. Great job.
So tell me, what are you working on now?
Well, I got some things in the work. Like most Hollywood production, I can't talk too much about them, but it does involve big creature suits. So there's going to be some stuff in Michigan, filmed in Michigan, in big creature suits. So,
tell me, what was your most favorite project to work on?
You know, I get asked a lot, and so many of my projects are my favorites for different reasons. You know, as much as I love the big shows I've done, like Hobbit and Oz the Great and Powerful and so forth, I like the little indie films too, because that's where I get the most freedom to do what I like to do. You know, Hobbit, for example, was such a humongous show that when I did the show, it was very cookie cutter. You know, everything was handed to me. This is how it has to be done. You know, when I'm doing an indie film, it's great to go to Home Depot at 2 in the morning and try to find nuts, bolts, and screws to try to figure out how to do this stuff.
And you stand out more in the indie project also. With the big movies, you're kind of sort of like a little piece in the puzzle.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we all wouldn't lie. I'm not going to lie to you and say that's not part of it, but you know, being part of the big indie Hobbit stuff is fun too. So.
Well, thanks a lot, Dan. Thanks for talking to us. Appreciate it. This is Mark with Comic Experience Sci-Fi.
Hollywood films are one of America's finest exports. We all have our favorite genres, from romantic comedies to horror films, independents, and big action adventures. These works of art are crafted by brilliant screenwriters, directors, and actors.
Imagine strives to enhance the cinematic experience and brings the best of Hollywood to Detroit.
When you visit us, Imagine, we strive to treat you as I would treat a guest in my home. It's only fitting. We're neighbors. You see, Imagine is a pure Michigan company, founded and operated by Michigan natives. And moviegoers like you aren't just customers, you're our guests. So when it comes to moviegoing, we know you have a choice. On behalf of the entire Imagine family, thank you for sharing the magic of movies with us.
Hey, Nick, is it time for the cosplay segment yet?
Yes, Jill, it finally is. Our own comic book Casey got a chance to catch up with an anchor man.
Hey, comic book geeks and Ron Burgundy freaks. This is Comic Book Casey coming at you from Comic Experience Sci-Fi. We are at the Kansas City Planet Comic-Con. I'm currently here with Mr. Ron Burgundy himself. Tell me about yourself, Mr. Burgundy.
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books in my apartment. Smells of rich mahogany. People such as yourself try to interview me sometimes, but I actually have my own show thing. Actually, no, the first Comic-Con I ever went to was this Comic-Con, Planet, last year, and I just walked through as a, cosplayer, and I had a couple of people stop me, I'd say a few hundred, and then one fine gentleman took my picture that ended up on Board Panda as one of the top 30-something cosplayers. That same picture also ended up on therealstanlee.com as one of the top 20 cosplayers, which blew my mind. So now I go around and sort of do these events semi-professionally. It's a hobby. It pays the bills. It buys the scotch, if you know what I mean.
Okay, so I'm assuming you'll be at the San Diego Comic-Con.
That's the one that I really do need to go to. I understand that. It sold out many months ahead, and I didn't quite get my membership in on time. So they didn't invite me. I don't know why. I really do need to get by there one of these days. And
any other cosplay action you've ever taken on?
I actually do Ricky Bobby, which I'll be doing at some beer festivals in Madison and Des Moines and a few other ones coming up. And then at Christmas, I do a lot of charity work as Buddy the Elf, if you can believe that. So I do basically Buddy, Ricky Bobby, and Ron Burgundy. You stay classy, San Diego.
Now it's time for Richie with the home video segment.
Yeah, thanks guys. It's great to be back. My vacation got cut short this year because you fans have to have us back on the air. Well, I've got a couple good picks for us this week. The first one we're going to start off with is A Wrinkle in Time. Even though the reviews weren't great, fantasy lovers will appreciate this movie starring Oprah Winfrey, Reese Witherspoon, Mindy Kaling, and Gugu Mbatha-Raw.
My love is always there, even if you can't see it.
Do you trust me?
I trust you!
Have faith in who you are.
Next is one of my personal favorites, and it happens to be a remake from 1974, Death Wish, starring Bruce Willis, Elizabeth Shue, and that guy from Law & Order.
Someone took my wife. Everyone involved is going to pay.
You look much better getting out socializing.
Not so much.
Well, whatever you're doing, keep it up.
Okay, I will.
Next up is The Awesomes. And no, it's not a documentary about me. It's actually an animated series created by Seth Meyers about a second-string superhero team.
We're not playing superheroes, Mom, because superheroes aren't made, they're born. We'll be the Awesomes for hire. Okay, I know, but we'll get some word of mouth, and eventually we'll be doing some real missions.
Guys, I found Mike.
We're looking for a lost bike. Lost bike.
Oh.
Let's go kick some ass!
I have decided to run for president.
I totally boned your daughter.
Oh no.
I know, baby, I'm almost done here. I'll meet you at the beach when it's all over. I know this is my vacation. Listen, Kirsten, that's it for this week. Be sure to catch us next time. I got some more great picks for you.
Well, that wraps up episode 1 of season 3. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Tune in next week for more comics, beer, and sci-fi.